Coming up on ECG, Dune is Star Wars for adults.
Super Troopers 2 trailer.
Understatement of the year. Batfleck may be easily replaceable. Not that we didn't already know that.
Nintendo is selling you actual garbage.
All of this and more coming up on the East Coast Geek Podcast. Welcome to episode 121 of the East Coast Geek Podcast for Friday, January 19th, 2018. I have to go back and look at last week's show to see if I said 2017 or if I changed it to 2018.
I think you did good. I think you did it.
Okay.
I think you did the right thing.
Where we bring you all the latest news in comics, movies, and gaming. I'm your host, Jeremy, and with me, as always, is Opu. How you doing, bud?
Pretty okay.
You hanging in there?
I am hanging in there somewhat, yes.
Well, how was your week?
So, okay,
Not
well, we
2
had a
weeks,
short...
your week.
Yeah. So, we had a short week this week because now I get holidays. So I celebrated the holiday off Monday by having to drive to Build-A-Bear because my daughter loves Sesame Street and they had a Build-A-Bear Elmo there. So we get there, we can't find it. It's in like the bargain bin thing. So we grabbed that and they're like, well, you're not going to get this at a discount technically, but it's like basically buy one, get one free. So we rummaged through it and we'd have found like a Sonic the Hedgehog one. I was like, well, we'll get that because there's nothing else.
Right.
So we sit in line for like an hour because everybody brought their child there that day. Get the two things stuffed. And when we go to hand them to Laylee later on when we get home, she completely rejects the Elmo that we drove an hour to find and wants a Sonic instead.
Excellent.
So
she's your kid.
Yeah, that sounds... So I can't really be mad at her too much because, yes, I adore Sonic as well. But it's like... This is like one of the most cliched things in a parent's life where, like, you think you're going to get something that your child loves.
Right.
And you're going to get it for them. And they don't want nothing to do with it. So, why'd you get this? I like Sesame Street, but I don't want Elmo in the house. Right.
Yeah, it's kind of early, Perry, but trying to take care of this so I can do a family dinner tonight here before I go to work. I have had a decent week, you know. I got to try out the Dragon Quest Builders demo on the Switch and instantly fell in love. Actually had a very... What do you call that? Very
like a realization?
Not a realization,
nostalgic?
but like a nostalgic moment. Yeah, when I heard the music play for the overworld theme of Dragon Warrior from back when I used to play on the NES, man, I about lost it. It's kind of weird how some of that stuff just affects you like that.
Yeah.
But man, that game is a lot of fun. It's exactly as it's sold as, an ARPG with Minecraft elements. It's sold for me. I want to get it. It comes out February 9th on the Switch, and they've already been talking about, or it's already been announced, the sequel, which will instantly come to the Switch at the same time it does the PS4. So I'm excited about that. And then this one's for you, Perry. I had in the past week I've racked up 5 wins on or 5 chicken dinners on PUBG. It's been a whirlwind ride. It's been great. Had a blast. A couple of duo wins and 3 squad wins. Lots of barn burners, and I think I sent you links to some of the videos, Perry. I got to put together from last night. Had a couple of good kills, so. But yeah, feeling on top. I was looking at my my ranking, and I'm in the top like 1.7% in squads, which is probably you know, not that great, or you know, there's tons of people up there anyways, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So. But otherwise, I know you've been doing something else on the side there, Opu.
So I've been watching Overwatch League, and yeah, go Florida Mayhem. You're second worst right now, but there's potential. So in order to like try to understand the game better, I did buy it on sale for Xbox One the other day, and I've been playing that a lot. And unlike every other game where you have to team up with people, I usually play like DPS or whatever. I was like, I'm going to just do support this time because let's see how that goes. So I've been playing Mercy a lot, and I know she gets a lot of hate online, because for whatever reason. But at the same time, everybody demands that you play Mercy if you main her, even if you want to switch to something else for a while. So that's interesting that like she's the main healer of the, everybody tries to use as a healer,
Right.
and like why are you guys hating on the character but then demanding everybody use her? I seem like a support guy. No. I like when I played WoW with Jeremy, I was playing Monk, and I played the Windwalker or whatever it was called. So
What did you play in Heroes when we were playing through that? You played a damage dealer, didn't you?
on Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, Heroes of the Storm.
Oh yeah, no, I played straight damage there. So this is one of the first games I've ever played where I tried to focus on support only.
Right.
I've the last today I actually broke out and tried Soldier 76, Genji, and Junkrat. I enjoy those characters, and because I've been playing a lot of the free for alls.
Soldier's fun, and he's been getting a lot of play in Overwatch League too. He's clutch for pulling the guys out of the air, especially like Mercy and Pharah.
Yeah, he's absolutely like even with my limited like capabilities, I've seen the people that use Pharah, the flying jetpack chick.
Yeah,
he's absolutely destroys her. You get somewhere where they're not paying attention. Oh, you take her out in just 2 or 3 shots. It seems like.
Yeah, his big thing, and that's the reason why he's seeing play in the league, is because Pharah gets picked all the time, and there's always a Mercy. It depends. If it's an open air map, you'll see Pharah. If not, they'll switch to something else. But yeah, he can pluck them out of the air with no problem. And yeah, if he can get his ult off and nobody's paying attention and he auto locks, that's it, man. They're done.
Oh yeah, that auto lock
through him quick.
Oh yeah, then that's what mainly we were playing is open air matches, and it's death from above if you got a Pharah.
Right,
right. Even usually the best snipers, Hanzos and Black Widows struggle with it, but like he's the perfect counter for her.
Right.
Yeah, and he's again he's like average in all stats, so to speak. He's kind of like basic, but you play him right, and he's a not necessarily a tank, but like he's a one-man army. He can heal himself. He's got that short missile thing. He can run as long as he wants.
Yeah. That missile thing you can use to snipe if they don't move around much either.
Yeah. You definitely have to catch them off guard because there's no freaking area of explosion for them.
Right.
Area of effect.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about Pharah too is she's got those rockets, but she's also got a knockback. Her ult, not ult, but her I think her E-fire. Her ability is it'll blast people back, so you can actually knock people off point that way. So, but anyways, yeah, the league's shaping up to be pretty competitive still. My team won, so
your team is actually Jeremy's going for the Fusion right now. They're 2-2. They're 1-loss record. So they're currently 7th.
2-1, right?
No.
Oh, I thought they
2-2.
Oh, did they play last night? Did I miss it?
Yeah, I told you that. Or they played Wednesday.
Well, they played Wednesday. Oh, okay. They played. Yeah, they played. How do they have 2-2? That's weird. Anyways,
I don't know.
Yeah, they start in 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Wow, no. Boston Uprising and Soul Dynasty played.
Yeah, no. I meant the league starts back up again.
Oh, yeah.
In 2 hours. So we might as well get through this then. That's weird. How are they 2-2? They only played 2 games last week, and 1 game this week. No, they did play. Oh, they played tonight. No, they played last night. They played last night and the day before. Oh, yeah. They lost to the Shock, San Francisco. Okay, all right. So they're done this weekend. They don't play.
But
anymore.
I thought they beat them the first time.
Oh, they did beat the Shock. They lost to Los Angeles Gladiators. Okay, one of the 17 Los Angeles teams that are in the league. A-holes. All right. So. I guess we'll move on. Let's get into the shows here. the main part of the show.
One thing I wanted to bring up real quick is: has anybody heard of We Are Billions? Or it's like an up and coming game on Steam.
They are billions. I've heard about it, and I've seen a couple of streamers play it. I'm curious, and it feels like it's like a scenario-driven StarCraft looking game, from what I could tell.
Yeah, or some kind of what's like siege game? What's that called? Tower defense type game.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
I have coworkers trying to. They were telling me about it. I'm like, yeah, I'll look into it. I'm not going to buy it right now, but I was just curious if anybody else out there had heard of it. But it seems interesting, so you guys might want to go check that out. I'll eventually get it, and I'll mention something on the show.
Okay, yeah, I was looking into that. I also want to look into RimWorld. I know Scott, a guy who's been on the show a couple of times. He's been playing it a lot lately, and it looks like a really it's an indie game, so it's not like high quality graphics, but the graphics aren't bad, but it supposedly plays like a more robust Oxygen Not Included. So it's a colony survival, and they're not selling it as a survival type game. They're selling it as a story game. Like every time you play, it'll be something different. But certain events are randomized that happen, and you have to you start with a few colonists, and you slowly have to build it up through either capturing and convincing people to join you, or people coming willingly that need help. Like one of them was, somebody fell out of the sky in a space capsule and needs help because they're being chased by wolves. Well, if you can save them from the wolves, they'll join your colony. Stuff like that. But it's supposed to be it's RimWorld. It's one that it's on my radar. When I get the cash for it, it'll be one that I get for sure. I actually really like to stream it because it looks like a lot of fun, and there's a lot of crazy crap that happens. But
it looks like what'd you say, Starbound?
No. It plays like Oxygen Not Included.
But if you look at like the graphics of it, like it has those same tiles, I think, as Starbound. I mean, once you see it, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, Starbound to me is a side scroller like Terraria.
No, not Starbound. What is that one where you have the ship and you can cordon off and shut out the oxygen in certain areas if you get boarded?
Oh, I know. You're talking about Faster Than Light.
Okay, FTL then.
Yeah,
yes,
FTL.
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah, no. That's fine. That's fine. It's kind of, but yeah, it's that kind of graphics, and you can micromanage all the colonists and tell them to only do specific jobs, or they'll have abilities that are better in certain jobs than others. Some of them will be pacifists where they won't fight.
So they're gonna have like their own traits and stuff.
Yes, they have their own traits,
and their own little quirks.
Yep, just to be able, just to give you an idea.
You know what else this kind of reminds me of?
What's that?
Black and White.
Yeah, there you go. Except not as good looking. If there's anything about Black and White, and I know it's one of Greg's favorite games too. The first one was amazing. The second one was, it was okay, but it was more Black and White, so I played it. But
right.
Anyways, all right. Anything else? Any last save rounds?
No.
They are billions of something. Yeah, that they are billions of something that I've been keeping an eye on too. So, all right. First thing we got in the comics section is something you're going to go ahead and take care of because it's your favorite person.
Oh yes, best writer in history, best person ever, great personality, and just a wonderful human being, and has totally not tried to bully or lie or steal from people. Dan Slott, he's going to be moving from to Iron Man from the Amazing Spider-Man series that he's been writing for like the last 10 years. So, unfortunate for Iron Man fans, though, Though to be fair, I don't know if it could necessarily get any worse than Bendis giving the comic over to this newbie character called Ironheart, who went and invaded a country and still thinks she's a hero.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of makes you wonder: is he going to go ahead and claim that he created Iron Man now, or or maybe he'll simply claim he is Iron Man?
Oh yeah, no. What he'll do is he'll put a fat body psychopath in the Iron Man suit, and then be like turn Tony Stark into a meat puppet or something, and then write the entire supporting cast like idiots, so his stupid plots can struggle on for another 2 or 3 issues.
So what do you think this means for Iron Man? I mean, Marvel, in a time where Marvel's trying to make sure that their comics are selling, do you think it's going to help?
I think it's going to help. I do think it's going to help because I think that the new editor-in-chief or whatever he is, who we've discussed before, I think he's making a lot of smart calls and he's not concerned about feelings. At least in these early stages, is that I think it's overall the right way for Marvel to go. And Dan Slott does have some good stories. And She-Hulk in the past was really good. Some of his early Spider-Man stuff was really good, like Ends of Earth, which I'm not even going to get into it. With the Spider Island arc, I enjoyed that kind of stuff. Like when he's on his A game, he's absolutely there. But he has not been on his A game for the last 8 years. It feels like.
Did he do the Iron Spider stuff or no?
No,
okay.
That was Bendis.
Oh, that was Bendis. Okay.
That went with New Avengers, and here's the thing with the Iron Spider is, back in the 70s and 80s, Spider-Man had a metal suit that he built.
Okay.
That nobody seems to remember, and so when they're like they call it the Iron Spider suit, I was always like, well, he had a metal suit already. This isn't his first metal outfit. So
yeah, but Tony made this one, right?
Yeah, Tony made this one to spy on Peter and find out how his powers work so he can replicate them and negate them. Because
Evil.
Tony Stark is a jerk.
He's overprotective, paranoid.
Yeah. Well,
jerk.
Then Peter Parker went up to him by removing all the fail safes and still kicking his butt. And
right.
Yes, Taylor, I remember it was you. I just didn't mention it in the chat. You're one of my favorite guys. That's why I tag you and stuff. But no, so I think this will be fresh for Slott, and I don't know what's going on behind the scenes because they're trimming the fat on a lot of stuff with Marvel because they haven't been selling. Right. They've been force feeding these comics that nobody wants to the comic book, stores. Right. And they're not selling. They're taking up space, and they're hurting their suppliers, and they've been hurting themselves. So, but that's neither here nor there. So, his final issue. So let's see. Bendis. Sorry, you got me off topic with the Iron Spider thing. Yeah. Bendis. So, as we talked about before, Bendis is leaving Marvel for DC. I think that's going to be good for him. He was. I mean, early on, he was one of the top tier writers, and he did a lot of really cool stuff. But I think he just needs to move on for right now. At the very least, refresh yourself because you can only write for a character for so long before you get tired of them, or a series of characters. Right. Bendis has been writing Iron Man since 2015.
Holy crap!
I mean, that's just on that comic alone. That's not counting when he was first made New Avengers and all that other stuff. Dan Slott has been on Spider-Man since like 2008 or something like that, or even longer. I don't even remember anymore.
Who's the one that
Been on there forever.
Who's the one that doesn't draw feet?
These are writers. These aren't artists.
Oh, okay. I was trying to remember. I was trying to remember other important people that you really like. So.
No, you're talking about. He's a really good artist. He's like Michael C. Scott or something. He did like Phantom and stuff.
No, that's not who I'm
and
talking
wouldn't
about.
Draw.
It's the
You're
same,
talking about.
It's the same guy that likes to draw lots of ammo pouches or pouches.
Oh no, that's a completely different person.
Yeah,
that's that's the developer of He was the co-creator of Deadpool and a bunch of other characters. Okay. Shatterstar. What? Why didn't it leave me? It starts Rob Liefeld.
Oh,
Rob
Liefeld, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember your favorite people in comics, that's all.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he helped develop a lot of characters. And here's my thing. People bash him about the pouches and stuff. I kind of think the pouches are cool. Even though no character ever uses them. They never show them using them, which frustrates me. But
they're just part of the uniform, man.
Yeah, well, still, you got... But, okay, the only people that I see that have stuff a part of the uniform that they're not allowed to use is the military. You're not allowed to use your pocket. Army.
All right. Well, enough beating up on Dan Slott. You want to? You got anything else for him, or?
I don't know. I'm hoping this is a good experience for him, and he brings something new and fresh to Iron Man. I don't know where they will go with it. Hopefully, really, what I want for Iron Man, I really want them to bring his IQ down. They've had this big hard on lately. Excuse my language for that, but they've had this big passion or whatever for making everybody into a super genius.
Right.
Tony Stark has always been a genius, but he's never been at like the Reed Richards level of genius that they've been pushing him to.
Right.
I've said it before. He used to have a team of people to help him work on the Iron Man suits.
Right.
And I want them to get back to that.
You know, it kind of makes you wonder what they're going to do when they bring the Fantastic Four into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What that's going to look like between him and Tony.
Right, and here's the thing: is Bruce Banner is technically smarter than all of them, short of Doom and Richards.
Right.
But he spends so much of his intelligence trying to keep the Hulk at bay, or keeping the Hulk,
satiated,
restrained, or whatever. Is that he can't when he can devote his intelligence to weapons, he builds like gravity pistols and a satchel that has a black hole in it that allows him to reach into one of his hidden bases and pull stuff out. Basically a bag of holding,
Great. All right, let's go ahead and move into movies and TV where we have some more, kind of comic news. Hang on.
All kinds of things.
I have to apologize for the last couple of weeks. I've been hitting the wrong button and not hitting that one. All right. As I alluded to in the intro, Batman may be easily replaceable. Ben Affleck may be out as Batman sooner than we think, making way for Jake Gyllenhaal to take over. And we've talked about it before. It's come up before that we've talked about it. But apparently, sources close to the source, close to the studio,
close to the source wall.
Yeah. Source
that
wall.
DC Comics joke there.
Oh God. They said that the studio's not really happy with Ben Affleck. I'm kind of surprised, not surprised. I thought he's been doing all right, but I guess the love lost started with them rejecting his Batman script, right? Or maybe it was something else.
I don't know. It may have been before that. I think it's when Batman v Superman v Batman, whichever one it was, came out, and it bombed, and he was just so depressed. So
all those meme gifs of him just sitting there, like staring off into space.
Sad fleck or whatever.
Yeah, sad fleck.
And see, the thing is, he's a good writer, director, and a pretty good actor. So I don't know why he's struggling with Batman. Everybody knows Batman,
right?
And there's really only one way you.
Uh-oh. Did he freeze? I think he froze. Oh no.
And he's not.
Nope, you froze. Hold on, you're catching up.
Did I lose you?
Yeah, you lost me for a second.
Okay.
You were just starting about Ben Affleck, and then you froze up. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm back. So anyway, so Batman does have like a little snarky humor and stuff, but he doesn't throw out quips like Tony Stark or anything like that.
Right.
He, I mean, and I just don't know. I just don't know why he can't capture the Batman feel. I don't know why he's struggling with that, because he's played Psychopaths before, and wasn't in the town. Well, I guess he was like less crazy than Hawkeye was in that. What's
That
his
one,
name?
that one was actually good. I actually sat down and finally watched that, and that wasn't
I
actually a
enjoyed that
bad
movie.
So
I thought it was good. I know. I'm saying that he was great. He was still a crazy person in that. Less crazy than probably about the same level that Batman would be at. Let's see. I just don't know. So here's my thing: is they make way for Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal. Let's find out. I forgot to do this math. Jake Gyllenhaal age.
Oh, yeah.
Gyllenhaal. God,
And you're gonna need Batfleck's age, right?
Yep. So he was born 1980, so 38.
8 years older. Ben Affleck's 8 years older. He's only 45. How is he only 45? Holy crap! I feel like he was older than that. He's only 10 years older than me.
I don't know. He just kind of looks rough. But so anyway, so Jake Gyllenhaal is 38. He looks like he's in his early 30s half the time.
Right.
This is supposed to be an older, more cynical Batman. And
Right.
that's how Ben Affleck's been trying to play him. So how are they? If they're staying in the same universe, how are they going to note this change? Because here's the thing: it's going to have wedged him into playing that character that way.
Maybe he's part of a reboot. I mean, there have been rumors of it.
There's been a lot of rumors of it. And also if he's going to play, I mean, it could be that he plays if he stars in the Batman or whatever they're going to call that movie, it starts him at a younger age. So it's like a prequel.
Yeah.
Even though we don't need another Batman origin story. We don't need it. That's what Spider-Man did it right. They didn't need an origin story in that. They just discussed it.
We need to see Martha and Thomas die.
We don't need to see it again. We've seen it every movie. We've had it.
Every series, to be fair.
No.
They didn't show it in every movie. They showed it in every series. They showed it in the Bruckheimer series. They showed it in... Well, they didn't show it in Bruckheimer and what's-his-face. They showed it... They showed it at the beginning with the... what's his name? Nightmare Before Christmas, dude.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
So they showed it in Batman.
They showed it in...
They didn't show it in Batman Returns. They showed it in Batman Forever.
Did they show it in Forever, or did they show it at the beginning?
Remember with...
they did show it in Forever. They showed it twice in that series then.
Yeah.
Because those are all considered... Burton did it twice? They didn't show...
No,
he only did the first two
Burton
movies.
only did...
The first
Burton
one.
did it in Batman. Was it in Returns as well, Greg? I don't remember if it was just referenced in Returns or... Now, it was shown several times throughout the first one.
Right.
Because it was doing the reveal that, the Joker is the guy that killed Batman's parents when he was a kid. So, I'm not counting, the multiple scenes in one movie because it was, tying itself together.
Right.
I don't remember in Returns. I do remember in Forever because he has that therapy session.
Right.
And they start discussing it.
Dr. Chase Meridian.
Yes.
Nicole Kidman in a Batman movie. All right. So the comment from the source, according to CBR.com, is Gyllenhaal is probably Batman. Affleck is not. Affleck is not out of it yet. The thing is, he still has a contract, but the studio is sour on him. If Ben rolls, Jake is in. That's pretty specific, you know.
See, so the studio's sour on everybody except for Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot. Seems like.
Yeah.
Gadot, however you pronounce the name, I apologize. They hate Zack Snyder, and here's my thing: I don't understand Hollywood. So maybe somebody in the chat, maybe Ben Affleck's in our chat. We don't know it. So can somebody enlighten me? So when a studio goes and says, "Hey, we want you to run this franchise for us, this established franchise that's been around for 70 years. All we need you to do is take these silly little books that's already basically got your storyboards and translate it into a film." sits there and says, okay, well, I want to make it darker and edgier. All of my characters are going to be mopey and they're going to kill each other. And they're going to kill humans, just regular civilians. Or they're not going to care about collateral damage. Like, they didn't sit down and discuss what they were looking for. They just said, hey, you're good. You're good with action scenes and stuff. You're going to direct this. And completely ignore, like, his entire cinematic history. Like, I don't understand. Like, how are they surprised this is what turned out? He didn't discuss it with them.
Right.
I mean,
right.
the guys juggling. These are like, this isn't like a $50,000 art film or something. It's hundreds of millions of dollars. You just gave it to the guys. Like, well, good luck. We'll see you. We see you in 6 months when we see the first cut of it.
Right.
I understand not being up in the guy's grill all the time, but you got to have some kind of kickoff meeting because especially when you're not dealing with just one movie. This is supposed to be a franchise worth billions and billions of dollars for you.
Hey, I got a question.
Okay.
How does the Flash work?
What do you mean how does the Flash work?
So what if... I'm just trying to think of how they can fix the universe. Maybe we just need to save that for an episode where all we talk about is that. But can he, like, occupy another universe?
Well, there is tons of... There's tons of universes in both Marvel and DC.
Right.
So technically there could be a Wally West or is he playing Barry Allen? Barry Allen in multiple universes. Yes.
Well, I meant could Flashpoint end with him ending up in another universe and a younger Batman and an earlier meeting with Wonder Woman, the prevention of freaking what's his face? Zod. What was the name we had for
General
Zod? No. The future Zod in Batman vs Superman.
Oh, the Doomsday?
Yeah, Zod's Day. Yeah.
Doomzod?
Yeah, Zod's Day. Zod's Day was the right one.
So here's the thing. So yes, Flashpoint, they could do that. They could reset everything because the Flashpoint series kind of was like based off a butterfly effect. Like Barry Allen in the comic went back in time to keep his mother from dying.
Okay, spoiler.
And that set off a chain of events where, that's right. Okay, yeah, that was kind of a spoiler. But it's been out for like 6 or 7 years, guys. Come on. So it started off a chain of events that, like, kicked everything off slightly sooner, and it also made everything darker. Like, Superman got captured by the government as an infant, and they kept experimenting on him. Flash never became the Flash. Thomas Wayne was Batman, not Bruce Wayne, and his wife became the Joker.
What?
Yeah, no, it's the Aquaman.
Hey, they'd be all for that, so they could gender switch. I know that was the low hanging fruit, but yeah, because they said Affleck's gonna get one last hurrah. It's gonna either be if everything holds true. Said it's either going to be Flashpoint or the Untitled Suicide Squad sequel. So.
Well, the Untitled Suicide Squad sequel is going to be another stupid cameo like he had the first one. And the reason I call it stupid is because the guy is out with his daughter, and that's when Batman picks the perfect time to attack him and traumatize a child. An innocent child, remember. This is an innocent child doing the exact same thing
that happened to his
innocent
parent.
Child that happened to him, attacking a parent and a child in the alleyway. That might be slightly incorrect, but the general gist of it. But yeah, but long story short, yeah. So he managed to mostly fix everything after a bunch of stuff, and so you could do it.
Okay,
dude, wasn't it though? Are you talking about the animated one, or are you talking about the comic version? Because both of them were great. Dude, so, oh my God. Have you seen the animated Flashpoint movie? Jeremy, you gotta see this.
I do.
It's dark.
Okay.
It is dark.
Well, I mean, I after not having seen anything really since Mask of the Phantasm, which was one of my favorite movies growing up, I'm sure if I went through containers at my mom's house that the VHS would still be somewhere in its container. It's such a great film. But after watching The Killing Joke and actually liking the tone they took with it, yeah, he said animated. I can understand what you're talking about with the animated, movies being way better than, which is sad, being way better than the actual movies, which you would hope that would be better. But so I need to see it then. Is it?
Yeah. So
I'll have to see if it's streaming somewhere.
yeah, I'm sure you can find it somewhere.
Okay.
But not necessarily on Netflix. But yeah, you need to see it. I've read both of them.
Right.
I think there's certain aspects of the comic that I prefer, like how I can't spoil stuff now, but even though I spoiled a lot already, except for the reviled. Okay, that one's terrible. First of all, it was around that section of the anime where they kept putting Batman in everything and making him the main focus.
He should be in everything. Stop it.
It's getting old. Like the one where he had to fight Owlman.
Show me where all the
Crisis on Two Worlds.
Show me where all the Aquaman video games are, and we'll talk. Yeah,
Show
there's
me
a
where
reason
all the
why
good Batman video games are, with the exception of the Arkham series.
Oh, come on!
And only the first two are.
You can't exclude those games, and the third one was I haven't finished the third one yet because I got distracted.
Batman is DC's life. They don't know how to operate without him.
Side note, I just remembered a conversation from last night during that match that we won. Two of my buddies were talking about My Hero Academy. I can't remember how they said it. Academia. I thought they said, and I said no, it's My Hero Academia. Yeah, Mitch has been talking about that. Like, oh, I think it's on Crunchyroll. Oh no, it's on Netflix. No, it's not on those guys. It's on Hulu. Mitch told me.
Oh wait, no, it's on Crunchyroll.
Is it on Crunchyroll?
It's on Funimation as well.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's dubbed on Funimation, and it's.
Oh well, he found it on Hulu, so he's gonna watch it on Hulu. But that's fine.
Okay.
But yeah,
highly recommend it. Wait, I'm sorry. Who did you say was going to watch it? Greg is going to watch it.
No, it wasn't Greg. It was two of our other buddies that were playing with us.
Okay.
So.
Well,
it was Scott and one other guy talking about it.
Okay. Well, you have to find out how they feel. It's I'm telling you, dude, it's a great series. Really good battles in there. A real quick side note here. I don't know if this just happened, but Disney has hired Apple veteran to launch its Netflix killer. Kevin Swint. So maybe we'll mention that next week. But.
Yeah, we'll dig some more on that then. I don't know what that's gonna do, but yeah. Well, listen, if Aquaman had any other powers, and most of the fight, listen, when was the last time you saw in a movie any of them fighting somebody out in water? No, it's been on land, okay, and there's no water unless there's rain.
And guess what? He absolutely go watch Flash. The Flashpoint Paradox. Go watch that and see what Aquaman can do. I'm sorry, not Iron
Man. There's that one time.
He's an absolute beast in that one. He finally decides to quit holding back.
Oh, okay. Well, finally, thank God. All right, let's move on. Next, he's fine on land. Yeah, as long as he's punching people. All right. Why is that in the way? Get out of the way. All right. Here we go. Next picture. Super Troopers 2's trailer showed up today, and it looks hilarious.
Oh my goodness!
And
I watched the Redbox one. Did you watch that one?
I watched whatever one that my brother shared. I watched. So if there's a red one, then I'll have to check it out. A Red Band is what you meant. Red Band, not Redbox. Redbox is a movie distribution program. Yeah, I'll have to check out the Red Band trailer. I don't think I did. I don't remember. Whatever one he shared.
I think you just shared the regular one.
The trailer looks amazing, and for those of you that haven't seen it, we've got an idea of what the story is, and apparently the lines up in was it Vermont, right?
Yeah,
the lines in Vermont and Canada got redrawn, and apparently this chunk of Canada actually belongs to Vermont. So they're now being pushed up there to take over the police force up there. In place of the Mounties, the Canadian, what is it? Mounted Royal Canadian Police,
something like that.
So I'm trying to remember the acronym. It's been a while since I've been to Canada. So, anyways, Same hijinks as usual. Especially the great part was when they're standing at that car they pulled over, and they're talking. They're saying they're not even talking in French. They're just saying French names.
Well,
Like Luke Robitaille was in there, and
well, then it breaks down to where they're just saying stuff like feather duster in a French accent.
Yeah, which is great. They're
just like yelling back and forth, and the poor couple's just sitting there like looking between them, like what's going on?
And they're like, "Do either of you speak English? We speak English." Yeah, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Thank you.
RCMP.
Yeah. So it
Taylor
looks...
is our resident Canadian here.
Oh,
he's
okay.
our Wolverine, but he's not as hairy as Wolverine.
Wolverine? That's Michigan, pal.
Wolverine is from Canada. He was American. He was born in America. He moved to Canada in the 1800s.
In the 1900s? Is that?
18.
I don't think they exist anymore. I think the only ones that do are in the Detroit Zoo, pal. Google it.
You need to read Wolverine Origins.
No. That's not real. That is not real.
It's real, and the events happen in real time.
So, anyways, so Super Troopers 2 looks great. Everybody was worried, like Greg mentioned, he was worried too. But after seeing the trailers, yes, it looks amazing. It's going to be hilarious, and they've got most of the old cast back, from what I could tell. I think that's all I got for that. I don't want to spoil it too much. Go check out the trailer, and I guess we'll be waiting until 420.
Because of course 420.
Of course. John Chimpo is going to be there. All right. Next thing, and this is why I asked Greg. In the headlines, we said Dune is the Star Wars for adults. Go ahead, Mitch. You can tell about this one. This one's pretty funny.
Okay, so where do you want me to start at with this? So here's the thing, and here's what immediately drove me crazy when this guy said this.
Actually, I'm gonna give you pronunciations before you read the name. It's Denis Villeneuve. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha. Don't worry. And I know it's going to say this back here. I mean, in this article we're going to read, but Dune was published in 1965. The first Star Wars movie came out in what, 1977-ish?
77.
Shouldn't they say that? Shouldn't they say Star Wars is the Dune for kids? Especially because both Lucas and the writer of Dune have said that Star Wars was heavily inspired from Dune and Flash Gordon. Okay, so the upcoming Dune remake from director Denis Villeneuve is being described as Star Wars for adults.
And for those of you,
adaptation of Frank Herbert's.
And those of you that don't know who that director is, he just got done with Blade Runner 2049. This is the same guy.
I didn't watch that one.
It just came out on DVD, so.
Did you see it?
Nope, not yet. But Greg saw it and he loved it, so, and I trust him.
I mess with you, Greg. You're pretty. I love you. An adaptation.
Oh, he also did Sicario and Arrival. Did you watch Arrival?
Didn't Arrival fail?
No. Oh, I don't know. It was a great. It was a great movie.
I thought Arrival bombed.
I really liked Arrival. I'm totally derailing you this whole conversation.
Wait, no. I'm thinking of Passengers for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
Don't ask me why I got.
Their budget was $47 million, and they made 203, so they did all right.
Yeah. Okay. Then I will have to check this out.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Sicario's supposed to be good too, and it's on Hulu. I need to watch it. Maybe
how did I miss this? It's got Jeremy Renner, Amy Adams, and Forrest.
It's so good. It is so good, and they did such a great job. What do you mean we're both fired? We don't even work for you.
We don't even work for each other.
Until I see you on our Patreon, you can't fire us. Sorry. He really wants to be on there. Yeah, see? Yeah, new Blade Runner is beautiful. I heard it even had Atari logos and everything. All right. Anyways, go back to your story now, because like I said, this We're at
Okay,
44 minutes, and we're not at the
all right,
six
so
games yet.
an adaptation of Frank Herbert's iconic 1965 novel of the same name came from the acclaimed writer-director David Lynch in 1984, starring Kyle
McLaughlin,
Francesca Annis, and more. In spite of strong anticipation for the film, it significantly underperformed at the global box office, in addition to earning widespread negative reviews. But as with many of Lynch's projects, Dune has become a cult classic over the years.
Also,
Most
Sting.
of the main
Sting was in the movie too.
Okay. I was going to wait for you to finish that.
Sorry.
You're good. Most of the main ideas of Star Wars are coming from Dune, so it's going to be a challenge to tackle this. Or I don't know why they had to put the word tackle there. I don't know what he said. Maybe he said something obscene. The ambitions is to do the Star Wars movie I never saw. In a way, it's Star Wars for adults. We'll see. That was a stupid sentence from this director. No offense to this director. You should have just said, you could have just left it at, I would have said the ambition is to do Dune with making sure that the stupid general audience realizes that Star Wars took from Dune and not the other way around. Because I swear to God, if I see this movie come out and all the reviews are saying, just go watch a Star Wars film, I'm going to lose my mind. And I apologize if I cursed there, but I got a little heated because it annoys me when stuff like this. It's like, oh, this piece of work has been out for 50 years and influenced this entire, science fiction culture, but now they make it into a movie, and it's like, well, it sucks. It's basically these movies over here. No, those movies are basically it. Just like with John Carter of Mars.
Oh my God. So one of the things I asked Greg for before, because we have talked about it numerous times, is there's a documentary called Jodorowsky's Dune. I hope I said that right. And basically it equates to storyboards and concept art for a movie about Dune that was never made, and should have been in its own right. They had, I think, Greg can correct me, I think they had everything ready to go, but it just either failed or the studio just passed on it. It should have happened and it didn't. And hopefully this is the resurrection that we need for Dune, because Dune's great. And you said something before the show, and I completely agree. Dune is definitely should be a series. It shouldn't be a movie. Especially if they put it on something like you said, like HBO.
And that's the thing. I think Dune is too big for a film. They're going to have to crush it down.
There's so much.
There's a lot of stuff in Dune, and it's tricky. It's unlike Star Wars, which started from nothing. I know where I'm going with this, so I know it sounds like I'm hypocritical. Like, oh, I'm referencing Star Wars against Dune now, not the other way around. Whatever.
Right.
But and everybody seems to lack this understanding or awareness. It's like Star Wars, for its own universe, started from nothing, so it had anywhere to go. The audience didn't know where it was going to go. Dune, we have the books. We have several of the books. I think his son or whoever has also written a couple. His son,
yeah.
Wrote some. I don't think that the fans of the original were happy with them, but whatever. So I mean, we already have the universe there. We already know where everything goes.
That's perfect. Dune is the Game of Thrones of sci-fi. That is the better description of it. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. It's like political intrigue with giant sandworms and spice. And aliens and superpowers. Even
though spice is bad.
Yeah.
Even Peter Jackson couldn't fit everything into 3 hours. Yeah. Well, yeah. And Greg said it couldn't get funded because it would have been a 12-hour movie.
You know what? I would listen. Make it. You know what? I would do that. Absolutely, film a 12-hour movie. Break it into a freaking trilogy, just like Peter Jackson did.
Oh, man.
Make every movie 3.5 hours long, and you know what? It's going to absolutely bomb in theaters. But I would love it. It'd probably be my favorite movie. I love
in the documentary, Jodorowsky put together a giant proof of concept book that was toted around the studio with everything: music, art, scripts, and only a few have survived. That
That's
sucks.
heartbreaking.
That is. That's like
Um,
we saw an article and we didn't bring it up, but a rare bookseller in, where was he at? Was he up in Vermont or New Hampshire or New York, somewhere up
I'm
there?
not sure. I think it was up in New York.
Water main broke outside of his store, and all of his stock was stored down in the basement while he was like remodeling or moving stuff around, and flooded the basement. And a large portion, if not all, of original manuscripts that he had of Stephen King's books were destroyed. That's heartbreaking. That's the definition of heartbreaking. Things that he's gone all over the world to collect. So for something like this to be just gone, sucks. It really does, because that's it sounds like it'd be amazing. It would be something great for somebody like Vianvu, or however you pronounce his name, to have a hold of, to use as a point of reference. There's no reason why he wouldn't or couldn't. I think it would be pretty amazing, and a good tribute to things past. So
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you, and I think that I don't know. It. Hopefully, he's not doing a standalone movie. Hopefully, this is supposed to be setting up for a series that we don't know. Listen, all these studios have an obsession with franchises right now.
yeah,
Dune
this
could
is
absolutely
perfect.
be one.
Perfect. I remember. Go ahead. You're afraid.
I was just going to say, I'm still really afraid that it's doomed to fail before it begins, because everybody and their freaking mother are going to say that it's a Star Wars ripoff. I just have that, that's going to happen.
Oh, they will.
Anybody in our chat right here, with the most basic limited understanding of Dune, is going to say that. It's like there's no chance for this movie to succeed. And the thing is, these days it doesn't have that big of a following, unfortunately, for the fan base to be there to lift it up. So it's got to. And so I kind of feel bad for this director. So I could almost feel the frustration in his comment for having to say that Dune is a Star Wars for adults, because they're going to. It's either they have to try to sever ties to do their own thing and make it not Dune because they're trying to make it not Star Wars, or they're going to have to embrace the Star Wars aspects of it.
Right.
And make it just more serious, and hopefully that people will say, "Oh, well, if you like Star Wars, you'll like this," and get people in seats, and basically betray the book itself. I don't know. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place to me.
And you didn't read through the last two bullets, right? Because it says at the moment he plans only adopting Herbert's novel onto the big screen, but he says he's open to making sequels in the future. Yeah. He said, "I could be involved with 1 or 2 movies if it happens. Unfortunately, a script for the reboot hasn't been completed or agreed upon yet, so there's no guarantee that he will even make Dune, which may end up being our current generation's version of Jodorowsky's hijinks, or not hijinks, but situation.
Yeah.
It may go on to another director. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. I love Dune.
I think they need to scrap this. I'm sorry. I just think they need to scrap the movie idea and go to a series.
Yeah. I've got the movie Blu-ray sitting over there because I saw it in the bin one day and I was like, man, that's it's such a venerable movie. Something that was important when I was younger, and even more so because and my dad, he's a big fan of sci-fi, but when I was growing up, when I was really young, back on the old computers, and it's actually in that video game archive online. I can't remember if it's it's archive.org or not, but you can play the original Dune and Dune 2, basically Command and Conquer and StarCraft style games, and you would have to build on solid ground, or you could place, I think, cement tiles on the sand and then build buildings on top of that to expand your area. But such a great game, and it was the big fight between the three, and it was one of those that was predecessor to StarCraft in the way that we have with that, but it had like a battle map, like you'd go to conquer different areas, and it would be your conquest of Dune, and you would take your house to victory, taking over the whole entirety of Dune, and the campaign would change depending on who you played as. So, Harkonnen would move one way, and Ordos would move the other way while you were making your way through your conquest. So the map would not always be the same, based on whoever you'd be fighting against, but they'd have like the ornithopters, the helicopter or the aircraft that would go pick up the spice harvesters that they did in the movie. It was an amazing game for what it was when I was younger. I'm gonna post that link in the chat so everybody can look at what Greg's talking about. But yeah, the book's in one of the pictures on that page. All right. Anything else on this? Uh-oh.
No, I don't. Hopefully nobody's attacking the house right now. That would be awful. Don't worry about that.
Arrakis.
She didn't run down. She didn't run downstairs to come get me, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so no, I feel bad for everybody involved in this. I still think they should just go to a. They should just go to make a series.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be neat to see too. I'd take it either way because.
Did I say the name of the planet wrong?
No, I did. I call it Dune.
Oh, okay. You called it Dune?
That's fine. They referred to it as Dune in the movie as well. They said whoever controls Dune controls the spice, or whoever controls spice controls Dune. Yeah, whichever.
I thought they said controls the world.
It's an eventuality. They do three steps to it. It controls the universe, not the world.
Okay.
All right, let's hop over.
Here's the thing. That line's been said so many times and referenced so many places that it's become the "Beam Me Up, Scotty." It's becoming that way.
Right.
Yeah. It's never actually said that way.
There's a name for that, it's said one way, but we always refer to it to another, and it's kind of like the Mandela effect. Kind of it'd be great on a premium network or streaming property. I know one, CBS, right? That's the one we want to put it on.
Yeah, CBS needs to totally handle it.
All right, let's go on to the gaming. Yeah, that was it. He who controls the spice controls the universe. All right, Nintendo made an announcement. Was that yesterday? We tried to do a live stream about it because we thought it was going to be the Nintendo Direct, which once again they've disappointed us and not done anything on it. They announced that they're going to sell you actual garbage, or as Mitch put it in the intro. Nintendo Labo is a new initiative that Nintendo started where they're going to, and we've later on I mentioned it, but they're creating cardboard creations to use with the system, which is kind of neat. And you can see up in the top corner here. I'll zoom in. The switch is up here on the piano, and I don't know how real it is, but when they push down a key on the piano, it actually played a note on the system. So I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen or what. But anyways, among other things, there's a fishing one, and it uses the controllers to help with the motion control, feeling, sensing what the player's doing and stuff like that. The robot one looked kind of neat, but it's all cardboard stuff, and my children don't do well with cardboard. It gets crushed, it gets broken. They don't have any cardboard toys. Uh-oh, here comes the dog. But it's just, I don't know. They have said that they are going to make it so those pieces are not required. However, they're probably, or it's supposedly they're going to be able to make the plans available for crafters to make stuff, which might end up being that we see a bunch of stuff pop up on like Thingiverse and stuff like that for 3D printing. It's very likely that we'll see something like that, especially if they make those patterns available. Appealing to the hipster crowd, I guess. I mean, it's a creative thing. If cosplayers are hipsters, I mean, I guess. But paper cuts will be used to harvest the tears of the young. Yeah, the rough cuts on those edges of the cardboard. During this announcement, or after this announcement, their stock improved by 1.6 billion yen, which is about 14 million US, which is kind of a drop in the ocean for them, but still, for it to actually get a positive response means that that's a good thing for Nintendo, obviously, and which is something that we desperately want. And like I said, things like Dragon Quest Builder being a game that's coming to the system, but not to mention the fact that all of the independent stuff that people make, which makes me wonder what the dev kit looks like for the Nintendo Switch and whether or not developers will be able to use this to make their own stuff, or if it's just going to be something they're going to keep in-house for Nintendo and hoard and stifle creativity for the system, which shouldn't be something that they could stop people from doing if they can figure out how to manipulate the equipment. So, you know what I mean?
Oh yes, I know what you mean. So here's the thing. The reason we call it actual garbage is one, because they're selling you $60 worth of cardboard. You're buying the software or whatever. But the German Games Rating Board cleaning crew almost threw out the Nintendo Labo in the garbage
because it's just cardboard.
It's just cardboard.
I mean, in a way, it's okay because I guess it can be remade again. And during the demo, or during the commercial, they showed a cardboard Skyrim kit. Yeah, a freaking sword and board for Skyrim. There you go. They showed the kids like coloring the diagrams of the things that were cut out and made, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's a creativity thing. I guess for us older kids, we don't really get into that. Yeah, I just
no. No, I love Legos. The metal what do you call it? The metal thing that you can make the machines and stuff do. What was that?
What are you talking about?
It was like not kinetics or whatever, but like the like those construction. I love that idea. I love like having kits and you can build like cardboard stuff out of it. I think that's a brilliant idea. I think it's wonderful, the imagination and stuff. But it's like you're a video game company and you're trying to get me to buy cardboard. You know how much cardboard I got my breezeway alone?
Well, that's why I said. They're supposedly they're going to make plans available so you can diagram out what you need and build it yourself. You don't have to buy the kit. The kit's apparently going to cost $40 and it's going to have multiple things in it. The games will cost whatever they cost. I think supposedly it's $60, right? The Nintendo Labo software. So you can make your own. You can make your own. They're not saying you can't. They're just saying that they'll make it available so that if you want, Nintendo can print out and cut out cardboard for you, and then you can assemble it when you get it. It'll sell. That's the bottom line.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to sell. It's absolutely going to sell.
It's just not going to sell in my house. That's personal preference.
Well, here's the thing. You brought up a great point. How much does a Nintendo Switch cost?
$300. $260 refurbished.
You're going to have your kids build this cardboard stuff, stick it in swords or robot fists or whatever, and go swinging it around the house.
The robot kit was kind of cool.
Stick the gamepad in the backpack and just run around the house playing Super Robots. And wait till one of those things breaks off and flies through a window.
But yeah. I mean, it depends on how it's made. I mean, the robot set was actually on strings, but the system wasn't in there.
See, I know how I would have been as a kid. I would have absolutely tried to body slam my little brother with that stuff on, and I would have broken everything, and I would have never gotten another video game system. So I can only imagine how other people.
Yeah, it's going to come down to parents, taking care of their kids, and
So I mean, the putting together everything, that is such a cool aspect. I love that, but I don't know. I don't know why it feels a lot like the Project Sparks also to me.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. It's just I'm just letting you know why I don't think. I think like the idea of it is good, but I just don't. I don't think they're I don't think they're going to support it like it's going to need, because it's going to constantly need new ideas and
Right.
expansions.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't see it as a long-term thing.
Yeah, and it may just be a one-off thing, and as your buddy said in there, Nintendo has said many times that they want to be an entertainment company, not a video game company. Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean that's how they got by in the NES days. How they managed to step over the game crash in the 80s is they said, "Oh, well, this is a toy. This isn't a video game console." Until people bought it, and they're like, "For you, it is a video game console." And here, well, so here's the thing: if they want to be an entertainment company, they need to start taking away the stranglehold they've got on their IPs and letting some actual toys be built and made, like, and not stuff that I find in some obscure FYE, but stuff I can find. They should be littering the shelves of Walmart with everything, not the occasional. Yeah. Oh, Mario Kart 8 has a racetrack with 2 characters on there. Oh my goodness!
Greg can go for this. The Monopoly Gamer Edition with the Mario stuff is actually pretty fun.
Well, it's Monopoly. Come on.
It's not really Monopoly. It plays kind of like Monopoly, but it's mostly more Mario Kart crap. But
well, how about Mario Party, the board game?
Do you know how many families and friends that'll break up?
Hey, listen, if your family can survive playing Monopoly, no matter the version, it can survive a Mario Party board game.
I've got
Mario Party, the Pokemon version.
Yesterday morning before I went to bed, I had some Mario cereal. It was actually pretty good, and it's got it's got a little. You need to go get some. It's got a little amiibo thing on it for Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, but I don't have a Switch, nor do I have Mario Odyssey.
But you collect all kinds of crap that you don't open. That'd be another great thing to put on your shelf. The box looks really nice, and I sent you that picture.
Wait, it's got an amiibo in there?
No, it doesn't have an amiibo in it. Oh. It's got inside of the panel. It's got a thing put into it.
Oh.
Yeah, see, he said super fun. It's pretty much Mario Party with some Monopoly elements.
They should just make a Mario Party.
Anyways, yeah, it's got an amiibo thing in there that you can actually use on Odyssey, but it's Mario cereal, and the box looks really good. And I sent you that picture. They're doing the next line. It's going to be Waluigi cereal, which I can't wait for.
Waluigi? Why not Luigi? Why Waluigi? Waluigi hasn't even had a video game yet.
Nobody likes Luigi.
Waluigi's gross.
Waluigi's awesome. Best racer hands down in Mario Kart. Come on.
I don't know about him in Mario Kart. I always use Yoshi.
Hey, look, we got a little star. All right,
yeah. Let's actually get some views.
All right, let's wrap up with the last article, or we could go on about Nintendo forever. All right, Microsoft plans to resurrect Fable. Oh, she's excited. She sees me. Oh, she sees stuff on your desk. Never mind.
No. And the mommy walked away. All right, so anyway, Microsoft plans to resurrect Fable. Eurogamer reports that Microsoft is bringing back the Fable franchise, according to multiple sources close to the project.
Hopefully they mean Fable 1.
Or the Lost Chapters. That's the one I would go for.
Yeah.
So, with Forza Horizon developer Playground Games at the helm. The game is still in the early phases of development and shouldn't be expected anytime soon. However, reports say the project is planned as an open-world action RPG. To accommodate this important task, Playground is putting 200 people on the project in a newly established office.
Oh,
Original Fable developer Lionhead closed in 2016 after being acquired by Microsoft in 2006. The series' last game, Fable Legends, was a free-to-play title whose multiplayer focus was a far cry from what the series had become known for. Anything for the views.
Yeah, 2 was alright. 3 was terrible.
So here's the thing with 2 is like the final battle was awful, and like your reward, you get to either resurrect everybody, but not your own family for whatever reason. You can resurrect your family and your dog, but not everybody else. Or then you get 1,000,000 gold, which you already can get. So it's like so anticlimactic.
Uh-oh.
No, don't worry. It was just a ball.
Oh, okay.
It didn't break.
Oh, okay.
Let's give her, give her something soft to throw.
Yeah.
But no, so anyways, so Fable, the Lost Chapters, I think was probably the best one out of all of them.
I have that on disc still.
Yeah, it added enough stuff PC. Into the first one that I didn't feel as cheated because Peter Molyneux promised you the absolute world with the Fable games, and I would like an idiot, even though after Fable 2 I finally figured it out. I still bought Fable 3 because I was like, well, maybe this time with the technology where it's at, he's not going to be absolutely lying to us. But he absolutely lied to you. And Fable 3 had the dumbest plot ever. Like, you can't tell your own country that, hey, we have an invading force. Okay, yes, you can't tell them that's an eldritch abomination, from beyond time and space, but say, hey, we have an invading force. We have to get an army ready now. So I'm going to do some things that seem extreme, but I absolutely promise you everything's going to go back to normal or as close as normal as possible if we survive.
Right.
Which is why, like, at the end when they were like, oh, well, do you have to choose this absolute evil thing or this thing that will help nature because it's pretty or whatever? But this is absolutely will save lives. There was like no real gray area there.
Yeah.
So what I did is I just funded it myself because I was already a billionaire.
Right. That was the easiest thing. A real estate mogul.
Yeah.
I did like that aspect though. I like that they went a little more diverse on the real estate thing. It felt like it was a lot better than it was in the other ones. But the rest of it was it's like they got all the systems down, but the story just sucked so bad.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm bashing it, but yes, there was some good stuff to it. Like one, I love the art style. I love the humor in it. A lot of characters have really good personalities.
And what did we say about the art style before the show?
It looked like WoW's.
It stands up. It's not that it looks like WoW. It stands up because it's in a timeless art style rather than something that would be like the uncanny valley of looking realistic. It was cartoony, and I can appreciate that. And I did like that your character would change drastically based off his choices. However, what tires me is these. Okay, give me good or evil choices. No, but it's like the evil ones in a lot of these games where it's morally complex, quote unquote. Right.
That you have to go out of your way to kick a puppy, and then you get to go fight the bad guy, as opposed to just going and fight the bad guy with the good one. It's like, okay, you got to give me two equally viable solutions to this problem.
Right.
Make the evil one faster but a little harder. Make the good one, or no, it should probably be the other way around. The good one harder and longer, the evil one faster and easier, but maybe you get less XP or something. But you got to, make it an actual moral choice. Yeah, it can still be fantastic stuff. Should we let the orcs starve to death, or should we give them, some of the food from this village or whatever?
Right. I need to see. I can't remember. I think I got the Lost Chapters for free on Good Old Games one time. I'll have to see. I need to have my son play that. I think he'd really like the first one. But anyways,
And the reason I mentioned the Lost Chapters is because it actually gave you a real boss battle at the end.
Yeah.
That was as opposed to. And they added just enough that it felt like the full game and not that stuff had been cut off. And they better not allow Peter Molyneux anywhere near it. Put a restraining order on him. And lately he's come out and apologized. Well, I used to lie a lot. Well, yeah, because you're not making anything right now.
Right.
So you're totally going to be honest that you lied to us this entire time.
Hey, Greg, we brought you up earlier because we were talking about Black and White as well.
That game needs to be remade.
Yeah.
I would love for that game to get remade.
That's another one. It's so good. I'd like to see it remade in VR so I could play it on my headset.
That would be cool. And because here's the thing with I didn't have the best computer back in the day, so I always struggled making the symbols with the mouse because my mouse wouldn't register very well.
Right.
I always struggled with those kinds of aspects, but I really enjoyed that game, and I think that one had like a kind of better moral choice system than a lot of games because it was like, okay, well, you need a power boost right now. Let me sacrifice these villages as opposed to waiting a while for that power to build up through their worship and stuff, or
Right.
Because you were of course then you just trick the AI and you basically set the other rival god up for failure and let him burn down his own villages by sending your guardian deity and whatever the guardian animal spirit.
Fable: The Lost Chapters is only $10 on Steam.
Let me get on.
It's so great. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. You think?
Yeah, because now I'm getting on Steam, getting distracted.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everyone. That's all we got for you this. All right, everyone. That's all we got for you this week. Thanks for listening, and those of you that joined into the live chat, we greatly appreciate you guys participating. Please leave us feedback where you can, Facebook and anywhere else you get our show from on iTunes and whatnot. Or if you can make it over to iTunes, just put something in there, say how great the show is, or how much you enjoyed it, or what we need to fix.
or that we're so pretty and that we smell good.
Uh-oh. Where'd your audio go? There you go.
Oh, I'm back. Oh, and I said something so funny. It was the funniest thing ever, but you guys missed it.
Yep. Forever gone.
I'm not repeating it.
And don't forget to check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/StasisGeek.
Yes. You can contact us at ECG at ECG _podcast on Twitter, at our Facebook page, it's my baby, www.facebook.com/ECG podcast, or our email address at ecgpodcast@gmail.com. Also visit us at our webpage, www.stasisgeek.com, or post a comment on our video or one of our other videos or my videos that I post. And we will probably read it, or I'll have Jeremy read it, like I usually say.
You recently just did a
I just did an unboxing.
Yeah.
Yes, of Darkwing Duck.
Yeah,
and you saw me get confused on Darkwing Duck canon.
And because the color of his hat.
what color is his hat? Is it gray or is it purple?
It's a gray purple.
It's gray with a purple stripe right there. But then in the show, it's purple sometimes.
Yeah, that's like an art issue. Somebody was mad that day and said he should be purple, and then did the purple instead. All right, we'll be back next week. Until then, stay geeky.